In the lab section, we will go to the section of routers and we will use the type. I believe the most preferred one was 2811. It was the first one before, now it's the last one. I will do one click and another in here, and I will do one click and another one in here. Okay, so this is the first thing. The second thing, I will need a computer for this network and a computer for this network. I believe this router has only two interfaces. Yes, and the two of them are fast Ethernet type, so they match the type of the computers. I'll connect them all in a linear way. You can see that now the LEDs are red and they will keep red, not like switches. No matter how many times I do a fast forward or a refresh, the LEDs will be red forever. That's because routers do have their ports shut it down by default. Okay, so what will happen is that each single interface of a router is considered to be a broadcast domain. So this is a broadcast domain. This is a broadcast domain shared with this one here. So this is one, this is two, and this third one is a third broadcast domain. So in my topology, I have three networks. Okay, so each one of them deserves an IP address and a subnet mask. Okay, so to do that, maybe we'll use, for the first subnet in here, we will use 192.168.1.0/24, and for the second one we will use 192.168.2.0/24, and we will use something new between the two routers, which will be another private subnet of 10.10.10.0, but this time it will be /30. Whenever you see /30, this is called a point-to-point connection, because subnet 30 do give you only two valid IP addresses, and by this you can assign only an IP for this one and an IP for this one. And so the point-to-point subnet mask will make you make use of a subnet mask without, what was the word? I forgot about the word. Without maybe wasting a lot of IP addresses because of using subnet 24, which give you about maybe 25 IP address available, 254, it's not 25, 254 IP address is available, but using the point-to-point subnet /30 will give you only two IP addresses, and that is enough for these routers together to be connected. Okay, so let's start the config. That's enough. Okay, there was something called note, sticky note like this maybe. So this one will be in 192.168.1.2.0/24. Between these two will be these 10.10.10.0, but it will be point-to-point /30, and in here there will be at 192.168.1.0/24. okay, so let's make it this way and this way. Let's start the config. I prefer, my method is always to start a step by step, a device by device, to configure until I reach the end of the network. So my first device will be this computer first. I will assign this computer the IP address of 10. Okay, so it will be 192.168.1.10. hit the tab button, tab in the keyboard, /24. Starting from chapter 3 and beyond, whenever you see a router connected to PCs, to computers, or maybe to a switch that is connected to computers, you must assign these computers what's called a default gateway. And the default gateway is the IP address of the router that is facing me. So me as a computer, I am facing a router, this router. I am connected to the router using this interface, then I must have a default gateway to reach this router, and my default gateway will be the IP address of the interface of the router that I am facing. So I must type in here the IP address of this router's interface. Okay, this will be, let's assign it previously from now, which will be 192.168.1.1 maybe, because in your most of the companies do give the gateway .1. So when I come to the router, I will give the IP address .1 to this interface. Okay, so just let's check the preferences. Always show the port labels, please. Thank you. No, not showing. It's only F. That's strange. Okay, no problem. We'll check about this. Okay, so I have finished configuring my computer first for IP address, subnet mask, and a default gateway. Now I will jump to configure my router. Okay, this is the preferences. Let's check the CLI font, maximize it to 20, apply, go back to the router. Okay, now it should be better for you to see. Whenever you see the yes and no, always type no. Just like the switches, there is enable, conft, exit, and host name, the same commands, show something, and configure interface something, the same thing. Okay, so the first thing will be that I must configure this interface for an IP address, this interface for an IP address and routing protocol, which will be static route. After that, this router must have two interfaces. Each one of them must be configured to an IP address, must be assigned with an IP address, and static route must be used also. Okay, so the first thing will be show IP interface brief. This is a very useful and important command. Let's take this a bit wider. So I have fast Ethernet 00 has no IP address and it's administratively down, which means it's shut it down. I must unshut it. Also fast Ethernet 01 has no IP address and it's administratively down. Okay, so for me, the first thing I will do is that I will go to configure terminal. I will configure interface fast Ethernet 0/0. The first thing I will do to this interface will be no shutdown. Okay, good. So it clears to me that fast Ethernet 0/0 is this one, this interface in here, that is facing this computer, which should be this interface should be the default gateway for this computer. So what I will do is that I will assign the IP address 192.168.1.1 to this interface, and this will be done using the way of IP address 192.168.1.1 space the subnet mask in the decimal form, which will be 255.255.255.0. This is expressing the /24. Enter. Now there is an IP address to this interface and it is up and running. I am done with this interface. Exit. Let's get to the other interface. I will use the up arrow key, keyboard button. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it will be /0/1. Hit enter. Up arrow 4 times. No shutdown. Okay, so what happened is now that fast Ethernet 01 got no shutdown, but it's still looking red because the opposite side still shut it down, so no reply will happen. Up arrow 4 times. I will give it the IP address of, let's take all of this, let's make it 10.10.10.1 since it's router 1, and I will give it the decimal form of 255.255.255.252. This is how you type /30 in the decimal form. and that's it. I will hit exit, another exit, up arrow twice, show IP interface brief. Fast Ethernet 01 has an IP address, it's up, and the opposite side is up also, which is the computer. Fast Ethernet 01 has an IP address, it is up, and the opposite side is down, not administratively down, that because it doesn't know what's happening there, but just sensing that the opposite side is down. Okay, so this is for my router. Let's configure the initial config. Let's complete the initial config. After that, we will do the static route. Okay, let's go to the second router. CLI, hit no, enable show IP interface brief. Both of them are down. Configure terminal. Conf is enough. Interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Please unshut it. No shutdown. It worked. Then 0/0 is this one. It automatically worked because this one is already working. So I will assign the IP address to this interface. IP address will be 10.10.10.2/30, which should be given this way. Exit, and now interface fast Ethernet, sorry, 0/1, no shutdown, it's up. Give it the IP address of 192.168.2. Let's make it 1 because it's a gateway for PC number 2, and give it the subnet mask of /24. Exit, another exit please, up arrow twice, and now I can check my work that Fast Ethernet 00 has an IP, it's up and up for both sides. Fast Ethernet 01 also has an IP address, it's up, and the protocol is up. So lastly, I have my computer, the second computer. I will give it the IP address maybe of .10 also, but this time it will be .2.10 with the tab button. Okay, that's /24, and the default gateway is the IP address, sorry, 2.1 of the router. Okay, so all of them do have IP addresses now. If these were switches, then this computer should be able to ping this computer, but since these are routers and there is no routing protocol, then there will be no reply from the other side. The destination host is unreachable, the request is timeout. It will keep telling me this, but it will never give me a real reply because there is no routing protocol. Okay, so let's configure a routing protocol using the static route on this router and also on this router. This will be very simple to configure. It will be only one command, a single line to be applied to the routers. Okay, so in my first router, I will do config terminal, and what I will say is that please IP route, please do route whomever wants to reach 192.168.2.0, whatever computer or whatever device in the network of 192.168.2.0 that has the subnet mask also, you must mention it, of 255.255.255.0. okay, so whomever wants to make use of you to reach this network, then what I can do now is a space, shift and question mark. Either I give it the IP address next or the number or the port ID of the interface that I want. So it's either I tell him to forward it using Fast Ethernet 01 or the IP address of this interface of the next router. Mostly you will use the second method of the IP address of this interface, and this interface's IP address is 10.10.10.2. okay, so 10.10.10.2. that's it. Okay, it's only a single command, hit enter, and that's it. That's all you need to do. Hit exit, and that's enough. But what I have done is that I have tell him to send the request to here, and this one by default, when it receives something to 10.192.168.2.0, it's directly connected to it, so it will forward it to the computer. But the reply of this computer to me will stop here because the reply will be destined to 192.168.1.0, and this is something not familiar with this router. So in this router I must do static route to make the route understand how to reach me, my IP address. So please come in this other router and do configure terminal. Tell him, please IP route whomever wants to reach 192.168.1.0 that has the subnet mask of 24. Please send him to, what do you say now? If it was this router wants to go here, then it must forward to this router using the IP address of this interface, which will be 10.10.10.1. Hit enter, and that's it. Exit. That's all you need. Only a single command here, a single command there, and you have static route. To check this, go again to my computer, to the command prompt. Last time there was no reply. Let's see this time if there was any reply. The up arrow command and enter. Let's wait. Maybe the first one or two will be timed out because negotiations are slow between the routers. Request timed out. Please. Okay, finally I have a reply from the desired destination that I want to talk with. Okay, with the time less than 101 millisecond. Okay, so do it again. There is a reply from the entire packets sent. All of them are received. Okay, so this is how you do static route. In the upcoming video we will do another lab using other methods. Okay, so please stay tuned with us with the upcoming lab, and thank you for watching.